Well, hello, and welcome to another week of HRTM 270. This week we're going to be looking at a kind of different cooking technique. We're going to be looking at sous vide cooking. In this technique, we use a precision water bath cooker with a immersion circulator to circulate the water at a precise temperature to cook our products. And so we have the opportunity to cook items at a lower temperature than what we would normally cook them at, while still getting rid of all the bacteria and things like that. So we can take something like a chicken breast, and we can cook a chicken breast in this cooker for to 150 degrees. We know from ServiceSafe we've got to cook it to 165 for 15 seconds. Well, what if we cook it to 150 degrees for 2 hours? And we don't have to worry about bacterial growth over the course of that time, or being in the temperature danger zone for too long, because we vacuum seal the products to where they don't have to they don't have oxygen, so we don't have to worry about that. So we're going to look at sous vide cooking today. It's a really neat technique. It's used in a lot of restaurants. It's one of our newer cooking techniques, although it's been out for a while. So we're going to look at a T-bone steak. We're going to look at some salmon, the salmon that we cut up in class. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at some shrimp. And I'm going to show you, this is my personal sous vide machine that I have. I did not bring the one from the university back down here, back to my house with me. But I have one of my own, and we're going to use it. It works very similar to the one that we have at the university. So I'm going to show you exactly how that works. So let's look at our mise en place and see exactly what all we have, and see what all we're going to do with this technique. All right, so sous vide cooking. Let's kind of look at what all we have here. We're going to talk about this just a little bit. So I've got a T-bone right here, so a nice T-bone steak. I've got a nice piece of salmon, the salmon that we cut up in class, and I've got some shrimp. We've got our salt and pepper, some fresh herbs. This is thyme, a little bit of chopped up garlic, some oil, and a little bit of wine as well. We also have a little bit of butter that we can put in there too. So let's kind of get stuff prepped up here. So we're going to start with our ribeye, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. We want to season it really, really well. Both sides. Like so. I'm going to slide this out of the way for a moment. Have a Ziploc bag, and the reason that I'm using a Ziploc bag instead of my vacuum sealer is because I feel like you may have a sous vide cooker, an immersion circulator, but you might not have the vacuum seal machine. So this is a way that you can do it without having the machine, okay? So I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic in there. I like a little bit of fresh thyme in there. We got a little butter, so we're gonna add some butter to it. And I'm just gonna seal this about 3/4 of the way. When I put this in the water, this is called the water displacement method. When I put this in the water, the pressure of the water is going to push all the air out of this bag, and then I can seal the bag the rest of the way up, and it'll be sealed in a vacuum style manner, okay? So we'll do that in just a moment. Let's look at our salmon. For our salmon, I'm going to put a little bit of salt and a little bit of black pepper. It's going to go into the bag with just a little bit of, this is some extra virgin olive oil. Okay, and just like that, and I like to keep my salmon flavor real neutral, right? Because I really like the flavor of salmon. Okay, and we're gonna let that cook. And then the last one that we have is our shrimp. So we're gonna put our shrimp into our bag. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. Again, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. A little bit of garlic, so we'll do like a garlic shrimp here. A little splash of white wine. And a little bit of fresh thyme in there, okay? We're gonna, again, seal this up about 3/4 of the way. Then when we put it in our cooker here in just a minute, we'll get the rest of the air out and seal it the rest of the way up, okay? And then we'll talk about times and temperatures there. Let's go over to our precision cooker now. All right, so here we go. This is our precision cooker. So what we've got is a hotel pan. This is deep. This is a 6-inch hotel pan. We've put water in it. And this is our actual precision cooker or immersion circulator that they're called, okay? And we got a little different type at the Marriott kitchen. But this is one that you see a lot of times in restaurants. You can buy them for your house, things like that. On top here, and I know you can't see the dial real well, but on top here, you can set the exact temperature. So the temperature of this water has been set to 129.5 degrees. You can, this will keep that pretty much at a constant. It will go plus or minus 0.1 degrees. That's how close to precision it is. Down in the bottom, it has a motor that pumps the water through a heater that's set to the temperature that we set it to, and then back out. So it constantly circulates this water. So all of the water stays at this one temperature. Now I picked 129.5 degrees because the shrimp, the steak, and the salmon can all be cooked at that temperature. So the shrimp will be nice and cooked. The salmon will be kind of a medium, and the steak will be a little bit more on the medium rare side, okay? Which is all really nice. So the first thing that we have is our bag of shrimp, and we're just going to push this down in. I'm going to use some tongs to help me do this. We're going to push this down in, and we're going to seal the bag up the rest of the way, okay? So now it's vacuum sealed in there, and it's good to go. I'm going to bring, this is our salmon. Same thing. And we vacuum sealed that. So it is sealed now and ready to go. Then our last thing is our T-bone steak. I'm going to push it down. So we'll get all the air out really well. Everything's sealed up, and we are all set, ready to go. Now all these things have to do is they just have to cook, and it's as simple as that. We just let them go. The longer that they stay in this cooker, they're not going to go above the temperature that we've set for them. So we know that. But what's going to happen is it's going to have more time to break down the connective tissues in the products. Okay, so there you have it. They're in there. The shrimp's going to go for about 20 minutes, maybe 30. The salmon, it's going to go for about close to an hour. Steak's going to be a little bit longer, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours in the circulator to cook. Okay, and then they'll be set. Then we'll be ready to reverse sear if that's what we're looking to do. Okay, so we have been sous videing our salmon, our shrimp, our steak. Here is the shrimp Normally I will not reverse sear the shrimp. I'll just pull it out of the bag and serve it like that. So that's what we're going to do there. Here is our salmon. It's cooked really, really nice. You can tell it's just about to start to flake, so we're going to be very careful with it. We put a little bit of oil into our pan here. Just kind of want to get that spread out a little bit. Nice hot pan. And we're just going to very gently put our salmon down. Not going to take it long at all, so I want to keep an eye on it to make sure that it doesn't overcook. And there we go, we got our nice sear for our salmon. Now we'll look at our steak. All right, so we've got our nice hot pan. We're gonna put our oil in there. This is our steak that has been sous vide. You can see the garlic and the herbs all in there. All those flavors have kind of come together to infuse throughout this steak. So we want to make sure the pan is nice and hot. You'll see just how tender the steak is now. And it's going to go right in. Not going to take very long. We're just looking to get that crust, caramelize the outside of the product. We're looking to really get that cooked really well. So we have that nice texture on there, that added flavor of caramelization of the meat and of the proteins on the outside of the meat. So this will take just a second and then we'll flip it over. All right, so it's been searing. Flip it over. Want to sear this other side real quick. And then we're good to go. Once it's nice and caramelized on both sides, we're set and we can plate up. Okay, so here you go. This is our sous vide cooked products today. You can see our shrimp cooked really, really nice. to 129.5 degrees. Same thing for our salmon, and then it's seared off. So it's cooked to a nice medium rare, and is seared, beautifully ready to go. We have our steaks, which have been cooked really nice. I just cut it back away from the bone, so the T-bone is actually 2 cuts. It's the New York strip and it's the filet mignon all in one. It's kind of towards the end of those muscle groups, so that's why you a lot of times get them together. So this would be the end of the beef tenderloin. This would be the end of the strip loin for the New York strip. But you can see, hopefully on the camera, you can see how nicely that's been cooked to a nice medium rare consistency. And then we seared it off to get that caramelization on the outside of the product that we're looking for. So there you go. All right, well guys, there you go. There are our recipes for the week. We're looking at the Sous Vide products. So hopefully you understand those now and kind of how that works, and maybe you've got some ideas as to how you can incorporate that into your restaurant, your hotel, your food service establishment, whatever it might be. How even if you're not the chef, maybe how your kitchen staff can use this technique to help them out, because it's very convenient. Once you get the equipment to do it, it's very convenient, very easy to do, as hopefully you can tell. You'll have a discussion board to talk about all of this and make sure that you understand what it is we talked about today. So answer the discussion board question, and then reply to a couple of people. I know that's not exactly the best way, as opposed to actually being in the kitchen cooking it, but that's kind of where we're at right now. So I might do something a little different next week. We'll check and see. But hopefully you understand these. Guys, if you have any questions, if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Next week, pasta doughs with tomato sauce and Alfredo sauce. So we'll be looking at that. We'll be making our own pasta, making our own Alfredo sauce, making our own tomato sauce, okay? So it'll be a really good week. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. So again, if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me and let me know. I hope y'all guys have a great week, and wash your hands, stay safe, and we'll see you soon, okay?